Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. Do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this on a regular basis, and if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, please give it a thumbs up. But with that said, today's video, I want to show you guys the awesome retro gaming haul I picked up over this last weekend. Now, I had to work, so I almost missed this thing. Now, what they did is they basically had inside of a mall, there's one of the big department stores went out of business a couple years ago. So they had this huge vacant store now for a couple years. And 6 months ago, they had basically a whole bunch of yard sales all at once, basically turning this into a swap meet. So they did it again. This is the second time. So this time I went in, I was so excited, but unfortunately I had to work. So I thought I was gonna miss this. I got there within the last hour. So I was so excited that I made it, but I'm watching people and vendors leave and I'm like, man, I might have missed it, you know, or maybe all the good stuff was gone. So I go in there with whatever cash I had on me, which wasn't a lot, but as soon as I got in there, I see a guy, he's got some cool stuff, catches my attention, and he's practically throwing it on me for like nothing. And it was like, man, sure, yeah, I'll take that, yeah, I'll take that. Okay, sure, yeah. And he gave me an awesome little bundle deal that I couldn't refuse because it was almost next to nothing. And so I had this bag full of stuff. I walk about 15-20 feet and there's a guy with a table just stacked with retro games. We're talking NES, Super NES, N64, Sega Genesis, Xbox, PlayStation, and you know, my mind was blown. I was just like, wow. Oh, and he had GameCube games. So I was just blown away, and I'm at total sensory overload at this point, and I'm just like, wow. I'm like, which ones do I pick up? Because I mean, I pretty much collect for every one of these systems. So it was kind of like, I'm trying to be quick because this place is getting ready to close in, you know, another 20 minutes. So I'm just like, man, I'm talking to this guy, he's a collector, and you know, his prices were pretty much as low as you could want. You know, I wasn't even going to try to like haggle with him because, I mean, you know, he knew what he had, and you know, he wasn't looking to give the stuff away, but he was asking really, really fair prices. So, you know, I was totally cool with that, and I didn't want to, you know, piss him off because next time he comes there, I am bringing a wad of cash and gonna clean up there because, man, he had a ton of awesome stuff. So I got a retro haul with a bunch of different stuff, so I can't wait to show you guys. So stick with me and let's check this out. Alright guys, so let's get right into it. Right off the bat, I have some NES games. 2 of them. So the first one is Legendary Wings, an absolutely great shooter. This is a awesome Capcom game. I used to have this in my collection. I don't know what happened to it. Years it just disappeared over the years, but now it's back. This thing is a really good game, so definitely excited to put this back into my collection. And another game I am ecstatic to finally own a physical version of again. I haven't had a copy of this physically since I was a kid, and this is something that a game on the NES that I love. It's one of my favorite NES games, and that is Ghosts and Goblins. Absolutely love this Capcom game. One of my favorites on the NES. When I was a kid, my mom took me to Toys R Us to pick out any NES game I wanted, and this game had just came out, and this is the one that I picked, brought it home, and I was just absolutely in love with this game. Even though it just whooped me every way you can think of, this game was just so hard, and I still to this day have not beat it. I have made it very far in this game now, but still haven't beat it, but I love trying. I try and try until I had enough, and then I come back to it again and try, and I always make it further. So one day I will beat Ghosts and Goblins. So pretty awesome, and so happy to add this back into my collection, guys. You have absolutely no idea how awesome that is. I am so excited to have this game once again and put it in the collection. So two awesome NES titles. Now, the next is a couple Super Nintendo games. So, right from the same buyer, I got Frogger, which this cart is definitely a little beat up, but I paid almost nothing for this. I think I paid like $2, yeah, like $2 for this game. Actually, for these 3 games, I paid $2 a piece. Okay, I want to say I paid $5 a piece for these, and I paid $2 a piece for these. So that, NCAA football, or basketball, and 94 Madden. So right here, these 3 Super Nintendo games were $6. And other than the Frogger, these 2 are in absolutely awesome shape. So really excited about that. You can see the back's definitely not bad. The Frogger definitely, you know, has seen better days on the label. You know, it actually had writing across there in red marker, but I was able to get most of it off with alcohol, but not all of it. But still, regardless, happy to add these games to my collection. Now, besides that, well, let me get rid of these 2. Besides these 3 games, okay, now from the same guy, I also got a PlayStation 1 with a PlayStation controller that's in really, really decent shape. You know, this thing feels absolutely fantastic, and it really is in good shape for the age of it. And 2 8 megabyte memory cards. Now, these are PS2 cards, so I don't know that they'd work in this, but regardless, I'll keep them for PlayStation 2. So regardless, you know, I got two 8 megabyte memory cards and a PlayStation, which I paid $7 for this right here. $7 for these and $6 for those. And there was one more thing from this guy, which was absolutely awesome. It's something that I currently haven't had. I do have a Game Boy Advance SP, but I do not have this style of Game Boy Advance. And this thing was absolutely disgusting when he showed it to me. I looked away at first, and he's like, no, it works. And he put batteries in it, and sure enough, it turned on and it works. So there you have it. I couldn't turn that down. So in just, you know, great gaming fashion here, we got Link's Awakening. It ain't a Game Boy Advance game, but I am going to slap it in here. And there you go. So the game boots up and plays. Sounds great. So I could not turn this down. Got the beginning here, do your little talking because you're waking up. But absolutely awesome. I paid $3 for this. I just couldn't believe the prices. This guy was practically giving me this stuff. He's like, $3, man, it's yours. And I'm like, $3? Yeah, I was like, okay. You know? Because if anything, I could just get a new case for this. I want to say like a battery blew up or something inside here over time. It's missing the battery cover, which is fine by me. I don't care, because you can replace these outer parts, but regardless, it's totally fine, and I could just have it as like a little beater to play around the house or whatever. You know, absolutely fine, totally works. So I'm very happy with this pickup here. So pretty excited about that. Like I said, I cleaned this up as good as I could get it. I probably could get it a little better, but I took this apart and cleaned the inside of it with rubbing alcohol. So, you know, I cleaned it pretty good. It was disgusting, so it definitely doesn't look too bad now, considering what it did look like before. So, alright, so that was all from just one guy. And then this right here, these 2 NES games were from a different guy. Now, this is the guy that had all the games. And you know, like I said, I had only a certain amount of cash on me, so I couldn't get everything I wanted, but that's why I hope he is back. So I did get a copy of Pitfall Mayan Adventure, so pretty stoked to have that in my collection. Not bad shape at all. So there's that. Let's see here. I got Indiana Jones and the Greatest Adventures. And this is a great Indiana Jones game if you've never played it. And it looks absolutely awesome for Super Nintendo. This is, I want to say JVC, who made this, made the Super Star Wars and all the Super Star Wars games for the Super Nintendo. And they are really hard games, but really good games as well. So excited to add that to the collection. And we also got Batman Returns, an absolutely fantastic beat-em-up game, you know, made by Konami. And this is in Konami's heyday when they were just doing awesome games. You know, definitely one of the better Batman beat-em-ups, that's for sure. And this cart is in fairly decent condition, as the label's in real decent shape. The back's a little scuffed up, but that's okay. And the next one, I didn't have in my collection. I can't believe I didn't have some of these, but I didn't. So the next one is Star Fox, an absolute classic. I can't believe I didn't have a couple of these games, but you know, I haven't got around to picking them up. A little beat up on the back. Almost looks like this was probably a rental at one point, because usually the rentals had like a piece of foil that went across here, and when you tried to pull it up, it left like a mark across there. So I'm kind of thinking that this was probably a rental at one point, and it looks like somebody scraped into the right down in here to get something off. Don't know what that is, but they did it. So but regardless, still an absolute great game, and I'm glad to put this in my physical Super NES collection. Now the next one, and an absolute classic. I don't have the first one here. I only have the second game, and that is Donkey Kong Country. This is an absolute masterpiece for the Super Nintendo. One of the best games on the system, and I am really glad to finally put this back into my collection, because I used to have this. Along with some of these other ones, like Star Fox is one that I used to have as well. The back is in really good shape too, so this cart is in really decent shape. And the next one is the one I am most excited about, and that is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. This cart is in absolutely amazing shape for, you know, the age of it. So this one was definitely really taken care of. The label is in really good shape. You know, the cart, the colors looks right. Just looks great. Really happy. This one was a little more than some of the other ones, but for good reason. It is a great game, and it is in immaculate shape. So I didn't mind paying that little extra, because even this one, they were all really good deals. So definitely could not complain about that. And the last two things that I got was a boxed boxed Sega Genesis game, Jungle Strike. Box is in really good shape, and the game's in really good shape. You can tell right away it's an Electronic Arts with that yellow tag. They all had that yellow piece on their games. So I always thought that was weird, and their carts were bigger. You know, this one does say it's 16 megs, so maybe, I don't know if that's why they needed the bigger carts or not, but and it has the manual. So this is a complete copy of Jungle Strike. So pretty excited to add this to my collection. Actually, this is the first box Sega Genesis game that I have now since, you know, this is the first one that I've had in probably 20 years. So really excited to add a boxed Sega Genesis game back into my collection, and this will be the first of many because I do have plans to actually pick up a couple more recent. So look forward to seeing some. But pretty excited to add that to the collection as well. And I got one more game, and that is a mature rated Nintendo GameCube game, Rogue Ops. I've never heard of this game nor played it. It does look pretty cool. You know, kind of cool that it is a mature rated game as well. And this thing, even though it's a little ripped, this thing is sealed. So other than the little tears on the seal, this is a brand new copy of Rogue Ops for the Nintendo GameCube. So I love adding GameCube games to the collection because I love the system. So super excited about these retro pickups. Just absolutely amazing. And you know, if I had to add all this stuff up just off the top of my head, we're looking at about $70 here. So absolutely fantastic. Actually maybe a little over 70. So actually, let's see, maybe about $80 here. So I'm absolutely stoked about this haul. Couldn't be happier. You know, I wish I would have had more money because I would have got more. So basically that was the money I had on me. I actually didn't realize till I got home I had like another $15. So I probably could have got about another 3 games. So I was like, come on. I was like, figures I didn't check my pocket you know, until I got home. But I thought I only had cash in my wallet. And I couldn't leave and get money and come back because this place was closing. So, but what do you guys think? I'm absolutely excited to add all this stuff to my collection. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, guys. Like I said, I try to put out gaming content on a regular basis. And if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. But that's the video, guys. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one.